lot of shit I did, I didn't mention. A lot of shit I did for no credit, good intention. A lot of shit I said that did friendship. Hi everybody. God bless me for my accident. Okay, I caught it in time because YouTube is petty and they will strike me or demonetize me or mess with me if I play too long of a song. And I love Larry June, but I'm not trying to get strikes against my video based on that song. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. If it's your first time tuning in, I am Mambo. I am the founder of the Charm School Mentorship. I am the Coven Mother of Vision of Dawn Tour, and I'm your reader for today. I do this every Sunday. This is just a reading that I give to the collective so that we have some general advice about how to guide our energy, how to handle what comes ahead of us, how to navigate the energies of the week. So if you are trickling in, go ahead and hit the scale emojis. If it's your first time joining us, go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe. You will want to come back. You definitely will want to come back. And if you're in a part of any groups or if you know any people that like these types of readings, go ahead and send the link over to them, tag them in. If you are here because you've come from a group and you want to get a free reading, I will get to you, but I do request that people wait until I'm done with the forecast before I start taking individual readings. I need to light my Apollo. Hi, everybody. Search Hoochie, you are glowing. Thank you. Thank you. I will accept that. I was a little subconscious when I first turned the camera on and I felt like I was shiny. But if you experience it as a glow, then thank you so much. And I receive what you are experiencing. Thank you. Hi, Drina. Happy birthday to your mom, Drina. I saw your pictures. And you look so very, very happy. And I hope that she's happy. Beautiful age. That is goals. Congratulations on your mom and happy birthday to her. Hello, Monte Labalin. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Humsi Aja. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. We'll go ahead and get started in just a second. All right, and I'm gonna use Millennial for the focal point for the main tarot, and then I'll use my other decks to clarify. Hey, Sanidra, good to see you. Let's go ahead and start. Just jump right on in with our general reading, okay? What wisdom does the collective need about the energies ahead of them during the week of February 3rd through the 10th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves and our situation, our environment, our actions, the things we think about? What do we need to know about how we show up in the world that will help us have the best experience of the 7 days ahead of us? Any wisdom, warning about the nature of the experiences, breakthroughs, challenges we will experience is deeply appreciated. Hey, Tiffany. Good to see you. I really wish that YouTube didn't copy strike everything. I could benefit from some background music right now. Stop thinking of shit that's beyond your control. Literally, just stop thinking about shit that's beyond your control. You can't change nobody. You can't make nobody understand why their actions are contradictory. You can't get nobody to see your perspective. So if you are engaged in any kind of back and forths, anything that is holding you in stagnation, let that shit go. Let it go. Because here's the thing, trying to understand someone who is deeply invested in not being understood is not going to help you. It's only going to stress you out and make you sick. So let that shit go. The other reason why you need to let it go is that there's too much good around you. There's too much delicious opportunity. There's too much going on. So put your energy into your healing. Put your energy into speaking to the people that can see you. Some of you guys are so wrapped up in trying to explain and justify yourself to somebody who was never invested in understanding you that it's bringing you sickness. That it's making you unhappy and it is draining your energy. It's going to cause you to burn out. And here's the thing, if you burn out, then you can't really take advantage of all this good energy and opportunity that's around you. So 2 of Swords, stop saying you don't know. There's a phrase that I picked up in my life coach training, which is, what are you pretending to not know? Right? That's the thing about 2 of Swords energy. Yes, it's holding us hostage. Yes, we're in stagnation. Yes, we're going back and forth about these 2 decisions, but you are telling yourself that you don't know because you're afraid to make the decision, but you know what you need to do, right? And the blindfold that we wear in the 2 of Swords, the ways that we blind ourselves, we mask ourselves from the reality, that's so that we don't have to make a decision. Make your decision. Because here's the thing, the indecision is just burning you out. It's just wearing you out. It's draining your energy. It's making it so that you are so depleted by whatever the situation is that you can't pay attention to all the other beautiful things that are going on with you. That's the 9 of Swords or 9 of Wands energy, right? That wounded warrior energy. You are allowing the same thing to beat you up over and over and over again, when what you need to do is get away from it. And what you need to do is protect yourself, right? One of my favorite representations of the 9 of Wands is in the Hoodoo Tarot deck. And it shows, the woman with the gun and the Bible and the wands, the machetes and stuff behind her, right? Because rather than allowing the situation to beat you up over and over again, protect yourself. Protect your energy. You don't deserve burnout. You don't owe that to nobody. You don't owe sickness and emotional confusion to anybody, right? And again, I want to go back to this 2 of Swords. You know what you need to do. But the way that people are engaging in your emotions and the way that the memories are showing up, it's there to confuse you on purpose. And it's there to make you hyperfixate on purpose. So the best thing for you to do, let that shit go. If it is not contributing to your Empress energy, if it is not fueling your creativity, if it's not bringing you peace, if it's not increasing the flow of love and abundance in your life, why are you even paying attention to it? Priorities are key this week. And I would dare I say for the rest of the month, low key. This is not a monthly reading. If you want my monthly reading, you have to join my Patreon. But given what came up in that reading, this makes a lot of sense. Focus on what nurtures you. Focus on what brings beauty into your life. Focus on what welcomes in peace. Focus on what welcomes in and fuels your creativity. And if, God forbid, you are in an unfortunate situation where your environment is not allowing that, create that environment. Create that environment. Reach out to people that can teach you about what it means to create that environment. See, we call the Page of Swords the teacher's pet, and it is the teacher's pet. But a good Page of Swords understands where to go for wisdom and advice, right? So if you are unfortunately dealing with a situation where people are trying to convince you that you need to do something that works against you, do something that takes you further and further away from this Empress energy, reach out to people, get help, talk to folks, right? Because that's one of the things, the debilitations of the Page of Swords. If the Page of Swords is punished or misrepresented enough, they will shut down. They will become nonverbal. Those of you who took my class on the queens and the pages as mother and the child, we know this, right? That when the page is verbally abused, when the page is dismissed, when the page is told that their feelings are stupid, too much, when they are misrecognized on purpose too much, they will shut down. And we don't need you in debilitation with the Page of Swords. We need you in action, which is about reaching out to people, which is about getting help, which is about getting support, which is about telling your story with people who are capable of listening, right? Because if you don't do this, it's going to be hard for you to end this cycle here. And this is the reason I want to go back to the first card, Two of Swords. You know that this ending is painful. That's why the back and the forth has continued to happen. Right? Two of Swords energy is not uncomfortable, but some of us have chosen stagnation over fear of ending a painful cycle. But here's the thing. Yeah, the cycle is painful when it ends with the Ten of Swords, but it's still an ending. So let it happen. Let it go. Let the chips fall where they may. Let people say what they have to say. Do not internalize anything and make yourself sick. Let shit go. Let the painful ending happening. Stop being in stagnation and walking on a tightrope because you are trying to avoid the nastiness that you know is inevitable. Let that inevitable nastiness happen. Let the storm happen. Let the rain fall so that you can get to what happens after the rain, right? And we know what comes after rain. Lush environment, beautiful foliage, right? The ground gets nurtured and fed the way it needs to. New beautiful things blossom, which is again Empress energy. So this is a week where whatever painful ending you have been avoiding, you got to let that shit happen. You got to let it happen because the burnout that you are living through by trying to hold space for something that is not meant for you is not worth it. And again, it doesn't matter what the opinions of people who don't understand are. Get yourself put up in a space where you are linked in with community that is capable of understanding what's going on and who can support you. I love that the Page of Swords is the teletherapist in the Millennial Tarot. Reach out, get the support you need, but definitely don't allow yourself to continue to be burnt out because you're needed. Empress energy is needed. The creativity is needed. The love is needed. The bounty is needed. Okay? So that is the general reading. Let's see what is in store for us as it relates to, I'm going to do something that I don't typically do. I'm going to start with love. I know I always leave it last, but we're going to do the love. Hey, Zena. Hey, Mazone. Hey, Pratal. Hey, Lady Raja Kwame. Lady Raja, I really wish that you were in last week's class. I'm going to continue to be inviting you and some of your coven sisters to classes as we move forward, just to, support with your mama. So if you can come to the next one, it would be great to see you. We had a really amazing class about looking at the queens and the pages and as mother and child. For those of you who may be interested in that, it will be available on my, it will be available on my website before the week is over. Hey, Tori. Hey, Monique. Oh, Monique. I want to check in on you, Monique. Let me know a good day. I just want to see how you're doing. I hope all is well, but hopefully we can check in soon. But yeah, let's go on going into love next and see what comes up. Ancestors, angels, spirits of elevated ancestors, and wisdom do we as a collective need about love for the next week? What wisdom can we benefit from at this time? What are the lessons, blessings, challenges, breakthroughs coming our way as it relates to matters of the heart? And who do we need to be? What do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environment in order to have the experiences of love and be experienced by love the ways we want? Okay. If it's okay with you, I should have 30 minutes after the live is over before my next engagement. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to reach out to you then. If not, then just text me and let me know a good time to reach out to you, okay? I hate to miss it. I had to work, but I will try to. Good, because we would love to have your energy there. And I still need to send the link to Venus so that you and the other girls have the replay. So hopefully you can watch the replay. As I state in the class, some of the concepts are some things that I'm turning into writings. So I would love you all's feedback. That would be tremendously helpful. Just so that I can sharpen the concepts. Why are my cards sticking together, Lord? I hate when that happens. Oh, wow. I really love this. I really love this. I'm gonna pull clarifiers over one of these. Give me a second. Clarify the Five of Swords. What do we need to know about the Five of Swords? Thank you, Mazon. You're the second person to say that tonight. So I'm going to accept the compliment. What I felt was shiny, everybody else is seeing as me glowing. So thank you. That was really sweet. What's the details of what going to be on the website regarding tarot? Tiffany, I will definitely answer that question. Let me get through the next couple of spreads, and then once I'm giving updates, I'll talk about that a little bit more, okay? But Tiffany, if you are joining us next month, let's talk. I will give the details, but also let's talk offline, because I don't want you double buying stuff. so let's talk offline a little bit about that further, but I will give the details. So I really, really love this. Heartbreak meant for maturation, but in reverse. You've already learned your lesson about what breaks your heart. You already know your lesson about what your boundaries are. You know this wisdom. And so when Three of Swords is in reverse, we have an obligation to move forward. We're not picking up any new lessons. We have an obligation to take the wisdom that a heartbreak has given us and move forward in that heartbreak. And I think that some of you guys are avoiding dating due to a past heartbreak. And this heartbreak may not even have anything to do with romance. It could be related to the way that a parent spoke to you. It could be related to the letdown of a mentor, right? It could be that a friend said some things to purposely trigger you and to purposely tap on a wound. But whatever the heartbreak is, you have wisdom about this thing now. So your responsibility, your obligation is to pick up and move forward with this wisdom that the heartbreak has taught you. Move forward. Envision what's next. Be excited about the fact that you have this new opportunity to really root your hopes and dreams in reality. Hopes and dreams that are not related in the things that broke your heart or hurt you, right? I love Two of Wands because I love to daydream. I don't say that. I don't tell people that often, but it's low-key one of my favorite things to do. And that's why I love meditation. After I do deep meditation, I will close out with doing some mindfulness visualizations, right? Because it gets me excited about what's next. So regardless of whatever is going on in my life, if I can do meditation in that way, I have such a clear understanding of what's next that I can't let the other shit get me down. That's Two of Wands energy. Stop thinking about this. You've learned everything you've needed to learn from the heartbreak, and start visioning and dreaming and moving forward. Give yourself the opportunity to operationalize the wisdom you got from the heartbreak, right? If part of your heartbreak was that you told someone some things about your life that were really tender to you, even though you knew that person does not respect privacy, and they use that to harm you, you have a responsibility as the apprentice, or in this case, the personal trainer, to really teach yourself to exercise that muscle of discernment, to really teach yourself what it means to Bond with people that is not based on a habit of you oversharing, right? But you have to teach yourself. So, because we're never meant to live in the Three of Swords energy. We have an obligation to take that heartbreak and turn it into wisdom, turn it into experience, use it to build a muscle, whether it's a little physical muscle, an emotional muscle, a spiritual muscle, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. Anything other than that is gaslighting. Gaslighting yourself, letting other people gaslight you. When you have enough wisdom to know that in order for you to continue to operate in an old energy, that it requires you to gaslight yourself, right? It requires you to ignore the fact that on the first date somebody made you go Dutch. It requires you to ignore the fact that you're trying to have drinks with somebody and they keep looking at their phone, right? It requires you to ignore the fact that this nigga got one too many female friends and they way too comfortable calling him late at night, right? Those are all things that we examples, small examples, because some of it be worse, right? Your experience of this pain was not meant for you to turn around and gaslight yourself into believing that you have to take bullshit. Five of Swords, war strategy. The pain was there to teach you something. Learn from it. Don't gaslight yourself. Don't convince yourself you have to keep doing stuff the same way around, because that's only going to put you back in that space of heartbreak. Clarifiers over this Five of Swords are the Knight of Cups. People that love you, you don't have to guess about. Nine of Cups is very demonstrative. The love that they spill over you is the love that they spill behind your back, right? You never guess about Knight of Cups energy. And here's the thing. You shouldn't be having to guess in love either. Love should be reciprocal. The same respect, loyalty, that you give, you should be receiving. So when there's something happening and there's not a matchup, it's not a time for you to gaslight yourself into accepting it. It's time for you to develop a strategy to get away from that shit. Here's the thing. A lot of us will allow people to openly betray us and engage in shady actions and confuse us because we want love so desperately that we want to convince ourselves, well, oh, I can change this person if I just give them time, if I accept that, this thing was a mistake, even though they've done it 87 times. All this bullshit. No, people know when they're playing in your face. That's why Seven of Swords is called the card of the thief. And again, I know I keep going back to this Three of Swords in reverse, but you didn't have the heartbreak to not learn from it. You didn't have the painful message come through for you to continue to let people play in your face about you. So once you pick up on the fact that somebody is manipulating you because they're more invested than getting over on you than they are connecting with you, nigga, please use your sword. Because even if somebody else doesn't believe that your emotions and your emotional stability is worth protecting, you should believe it. Queen of Swords learns from her mistakes. Her wisdom comes from difficulty that she's experienced. And she uses that wisdom to teach herself not only how to protect herself and use her sword to keep herself safe, but how to keep other people safe, right? She's the card of the rider. She is wisdom personified. She is an expert rather, at using her words. So protect yourself with your words. Set healthy boundaries. Let people know early, like, yo, I don't, because that's a mistake we can make. Let people know early, I don't really like this. This ain't working for me. And be comfortable with backing out. Because Queen of Swords is comfortable with doing that. She's not going to put herself in emotionally unsafe situations. But even going deeper with the Queen of Swords, write powerful prayers of protection and discernment. If you know that you struggle with people pleasing, if you know that you struggle with letting people go, write powerful prayers to the ancestors, to the spirits that you work with, that allow you to develop further strength so that you can be deeper in your Queen of Swords and do the things you need to do to protect yourself. Here's what I'm getting from this reading overall. Rather than trying to mold people into being capable of loving you, see what the information is that's in front of you and act accordingly. Because that is what Three of Swords is supposed to be about. It's supposed to teach you about how to move forward so that you don't return to that. But if there's a perpetual returning back to it, then you need to reevaluate. Don't let people gaslight you into believing that you deserve more or less than what you do, right? Again, Five of Swords, clarified. I love this cluster. Clarified by the Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Nobody has to guess about a Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups walks it like they talk it, and the same love they give you in your face, they're going to give you behind your back because they understand that love is reciprocal and love is about trust. So anything that is not that, but is trying to confuse and gaslight you into believing that it is, walk away from it. And here's the thing, another thing about the Queen of Swords, not only is she comfortable with letting go of things in order to keep herself safe, she has trust in her ability to attract more. So yeah, if somebody is hurting her, she's going to let them go because she understands that there's too much love in the world. People say Queen of Swords is unloving. Mm-mm. She's actually deeply loving. And that's why she's so protective. She knows how tender her emotions are. That's why she has healthy boundaries. She knows how wicked people can be. That's why she uses her tongue for prayer and protection. Okay? So don't let your past experiences make you run from love, whether it's romantic, whether it's community, whatever it is, whether it's reconnecting with family. Don't let your past experiences make you run away from it. Let your past experiences make you wiser so that you don't waste too much time accepting shit that you know you should not accept. That is love. Let's get into this money. Spirit wants us to know about our finances for the week of February 3rd through the 10th. Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need at this time about wealth, prosperity, and expansion? I didn't expect. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil. What do we need to know at this time when it comes to prosperity, opportunity, and expansion? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, and our habits so that we can have a healthy relationship with our money, one where our money grows rather than wilts? Give us any insight you may have about the nature of the lessons, blessings, challenges that will cross our path over these next 7 days. And with some shared is deeply appreciated. Thank you, Hunsi Aja. Yes, please remember to like this video as you're coming in. Like this video. I have my Cash App and my PayPal scrolling below, and I do appreciate love offerings. But even if you cannot leave a love offering, the like is free. The subscribe is free. Hit the subscribe button so that way, whenever I do a weekly energy reading or I do a happy hour segment, I will be Charm School lecture series, the free lecture series will start back up, but it's going to be a little different. So when that starts back up, make sure you're subscribed so that you can catch the classes instead of saying later, Mambo, I didn't know you taught free classes. Well, you would know that if you were subscribed, right? So. If I keep smiling as I look in the corner of my computer, it's because my Mac is synced to my iPhone for some reason. And because of that, I'm getting like little updates and stuff. Like pictures of my nephews when they were babies and shit are flashing in the corner. That's why I keep smiling like that. Clarify the Five of Wands. What do we need to know about the Five of Wands? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Oh, Maman. Clarify the Eight of Swords. What do we need to know about the Eight of Swords? The blessings that are coming your way are bountiful, so shut your fucking mouth. I'm sorry. At some point, when I have my setup where you guys can see the cards as I'm going along, you guys will understand why I be having the reactions that I do. I'm gonna save the card that fell out for last because that's what feels appropriate in this moment. Y'all, some of y'all are worried about stuff that's already set in stone. Y'all are worried about the arrival of opportunities that are already coming to you. So stop that shit. Stop it. Just stop worrying, right? Eight of Swords, you will fuck around and create your own imprisonment and your own restriction by hyperfixating on your fears. You will, and I'll get to how this is connected in a little bit. You will, if you continue to internalize the fuck shit and the weird shit that people are saying to you because they can't see clearly and they want, for whatever reason, for you to have limitations over your life, you can internalize that and start manifesting it. So be careful what you say and what you listen to this week. If you have been thinking about taking a social media fast, and I know you guys may be thinking, you know, Mambo, we talk to you on social media. Why would you tell us to? If you're on my email list, don't worry about it, right? But if you need to take a break from social media, if you are around people that are saying weirdo shit that's bringing confusion into your head and your heart, remove yourself. Because doing too much of that can only cause the restriction that you actually fear. And here's the thing, you have no reason to fear because the abundance is coming, the creativity is coming, the opportunities are coming. Like Empress is not somebody that has an opportunity deficit. She doesn't have a love deficit in her life. So why would you even believe that? Why would you even embrace that, right? Embracing that is only going to stagnate and slow down the money that's coming, the opportunities that are coming, the ability to build and move forward. So be very, very careful with who you talk to, what you say to them, and what you allow yourself to walk away with in terms of like consumption. The shit we listen to, the conversations we have, it's a form of consumption. So just be very, very careful. Also understand that there may be some people in your life who say they celebrate you, but also may be gossiping about you. That's just a reality of the Three of Cups. Three of Cups can go either way. You can either have a lot of appreciation and a lot of people who fuck with you and a lot of people who want to see you win, or it can be a lot of people that are toasting to your downfall and just waiting for some shit to happen to you. That's another reason why you got to be careful about that Eight of Swords. If you are praying, if you're thinking positively, if you are connected to your Loa, or I know all y'all don't work with the law, if you're connected to your ancestors, if you're connected to your spirits, it really doesn't matter what bullshit other people are talking about behind your back, because the nature of gossip is that it's poisoning them, even though they think it's poisoning you. Right? So don't even worry about that shit. And don't lend yourself to discussions or conversations where things even get back to you. Don't even do it. Because again, there's too much coming your way. You don't want to distract from that. I feel like all the readings are spilling into each other. Too much opportunity to build a lot of good memories. Too much opportunity to build good reputation. Too much opportunity to leave imprint on and build tradition with people. Focus on that. If you can stay in that alignment, then everything else financially will work out for itself. Another reason why this card is coming up is that take care of yourself. Spend as much time as you can with the people that pour into you. Again, ignore the people who like to gossip and spend time with the people who create memories, who love you, who have good memories of you, who know your character for the long fetch, right? Well, it's what George Lipschitz, I don't know why I'm bringing up George Lipschitz, but it's a concept in this book where he talks about the long fetch of history, right? You want to interact with people who have a long fetch of history when it comes to you, right? There are people that I love right now that I've known since I was 19, 20, 21 years old. And I can pick up the phone and talk to them. And even though I don't talk to them all the time, I may only speak to them once, twice, once a season, a couple times a year. When I get on the phone with them, it's like nothing has ever changed. Like we've lived a lot of life. We get to be proud of ourselves based on those 19, 20, 21 versions of who we are, right? But the love is still there. Focus on all that this week, because that is what's going to keep you in alignment with the energy that's going to bring you the answers and the opportunities to call in the kind of expansion and the wealth you want. Literally pick up a hobby. I don't know any other way to say it. Some of you guys need to spoil yourself and be indulgent with yourself and give yourself that permission. Yes, you want money to come in, but here's the thing. Money is supposed to be bringing us joy, right? Yes, save. Yes, be responsible. But if you are looking up and your favorite sneakers are falling apart at the soles, bitch, go shopping. You know what I mean? If you know that you want to go out to a new restaurant and it's been open for like 6 months and you haven't gone, go, right? I love that the Page of Wands is the house DJ, right? If you're a house music fan, don't be offended by what I'm about to say, but everybody don't like that shit. They do it because they love it, and they do it because it brings them a lot of joy. And in that joy, it brings them connection. Yes, right? So the message here is twofold. A, do more things that bring you pleasure, because money wants to be celebrated. It does. So when you do things that bring you pleasure and you express gratitude for having the resources to have that pleasure, it only expands what comes back to you. The other thing is, and this is a little bit more literal, I believe, y'all got to give yourselves permission to go out and be social so that you're around other people that have good money energy. Because again, going back to this gossip, of course they're talking about you. They don't have good money energy. So who the fuck are you to think that you're supposed to have good money energy? Put yourself in playful environments with other people that have joy and opportunity in their life. And I promise you, you will start to see joy and opportunity pick up in your life. Again, we have the Five of Wands under the Three of Cups. People will speak doubt into you because they're dealing with a lot of doubt. People will speak lack over you because they're dealing with a lot of lack. Don't listen to that shit. Stand up to the bullies and walk away. See, I love the fact that the Five of Wands is the card of the frenemies or the card of the bullies. Because what's one of the first things, I don't know if any of you guys were bullied in school. I don't know if any of you guys are teachers. Y'all gonna make me cry. Y'all gonna make me real vain. If y'all keep coming on here saying that I'm glowing, thank you, Yapa. Y'all are so, I don't think y'all understand how much I needed to hear that today. I love y'all so much. If you were ever bullied, or if you've ever worked in an education capacity or in a mental health capacity with children who bully, why do they bully? They bully because they're hurt, right? So the kid who feels like they don't have nice clothes will come to school and make fun of the quiet kid's shoes, because if I make fun of their shoes, nobody's going to see the fact that my shoes are fucked up, right? The kid whose parents don't have money to feed them properly will come to school and make fun of the kid that has baby fat, because how dare you be fat, bitch, I'm hungry. Like, let's be real. Let's be real about why people bully. Because the more we understand why people bully, the less we will give credence to the nasty things that they say, and the less they will distract us, and the easier it will be for us to stand in hope and to see what's actually in front of us and to see that blessings are about to rain on us, okay? The easier it will be for us to really see how far we've come and see how many people love us, fuck with us, and want to see us win. Six of Wands is a card of influence. Six of Wands is your peer group celebrating you. This is not a week to get wrapped up in people who ain't got shit and can't do shit for themselves, what they have to tell you about you. Especially not when you know, when you can see, because of your you are so tapped into your faith that you know what's around the corner for you. You have to be in that energy this week when it comes to your finances, because this is a week of planning the future. So many of the seeds you plant this week will dictate the experience of how you will, I'm going to say 7 months, just because that's typically the energy I work with the card of the 7 of Pentacles, but for the whole fucking year. How you move this week sets you up energetically for the remainder of the year. So if you spend this week listening to people who don't know shit about shit and whose only investment is to make up stuff about you and to bring confusion and distraction into your life, you will have a very financially confused and distracted year. If you use this year or this week to be rooted in positivity, to really plan out what you want, to speak prayers and love over these ideas and what you want, and to really spend time with the people who not only see that for you, but they know what you are capable of. They've watched you fight and build before, so they're excited for what's coming next. If you can give yourself that this week, the rest of the year is going to be beautiful. It's going to be golden. And that's why I got so excited when I saw the Ace of Swords fall out, card of the vision board. Not only are you planning your endeavors, you're planning how you want to feel. You're planning the outfits you want to have on when you hit those milestones, when you have those victories. Get super specific about what you want and pay as much attention to what you want with your finances this week, because the more clear you are about it, the easier it is to execute. The more distracted or confused you are in engaging in people who are not happy themselves, the more unhappiness you will call in. Okay? I say this every week. Money is an energy. Money wants to be treated well. Yes, it wants to be saved and protected, but it also wants you to flex and show it off a little bit every now and then. If you know you have not taken yourself out to do something kind or nice to yourself since this year started, because we're only a month in, and if in the whole first month you have not done something kind to yourself, make sure you do something kind for yourself this week. Treat yourself nice. Be gentle and kind and generous with yourself, so that you can set yourself up for a healthy experience of the remainder of the year, and you can really plant some really good seeds that will allow you to see bounty flow in throughout the rest of the year. Okay? We are now going to wrap up with this health reading, and then I will pause to give y'all some updates, and then I will take questions from the audience. That's good advice for a lifetime. If we all thought about how our thoughts, actions, and interactions directly affected our finances, we'd all be much more mindful about all things in life. I know, I agree, La Valin, I agree. And that's why being tapped into your spirits is so important. There's so much in terms of Western capitalism tries to make us believe that we got to toughen up, we got to have a thick skin, we got to let people say whatever, a show of your strength is being able to handle all kinds of excess bullshit and just persevere. And then maybe one day somebody will give you a promotion and I'll fuck all that, right? Money doesn't ask you or need you to be disrespected in order to receive it. In fact, when we stay in situations where we are being disrespected and it brings down our vibration, we're actually pushing prosperity away. So, wow, such good advice. I was just finished making my goals for the rest of the year and decided a vacation is yes. And here's the thing, Zena, that's not crazy. I know some healers that take a small vacation every month, right? Every month they have a getaway that they do, somewhere that they go to really take care of themselves. And because that they made that a goal, that now fits into their finances. Their finances now allow them to be able to have monthly getaways, right? So absolutely, if that's something that you want for yourself, start calling that in. There's no reason why you can't have it. And if somebody starts telling you that you can't have it or what you want is too much, stop talking to that person. Thank you, Mazone. Mazone said, don't forget Mambo is having a retreat. I am having a retreat the second week of April 11th through the 13th in Houston, Texas. It's going to be beautiful. We are going to heal and have breakthrough during the day. And we are going to party, turn up, and stand in our divine feminine at night. It's going to be so lit. And the link is in the description. If you guys want to get more information, just join that intake group. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom does the collective need at this time about their health and wellness during the week of February 3rd through the 10th? Who do they need to be and what do they need to see about themselves and their environment that will allow them to have wisdom that brings them balance of holistic health? What are the challenges, breakthroughs, blessings coming their way as it relates to health of mind, body, and soul? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I love this deck. Y'all know how I am. I'm a review a deck. My only complaint is that I don't know why the card stock sticks to each other, but that's my only complaint. But other than that, no notes. Millennial Tarot is a great deck. If you're thinking about getting it, I say go ahead and do so. I see now why mentality was coming up so much in the last few readings, because some of you guys are in a defeatist mindset. Some of you guys it's like you fear things are never going to change. You fear that things are not going to get better. And here's the thing, if you don't believe it's going to get better, it's not going to get better. This reading is primarily about mental health, but there are some lessons about spirituality and the physical. But you really do have to make sure that you are working on your relationship to faith this week, because your relationship to faith is what's going to help you get out of bed early enough in the morning to get your exercise in. Your relationship to your faith is what's going to have you tapped into the worthiness, is making sure that you're hydrating the way that you need to, that you're taking your vitamins and your medicine. Your connection to faith and your belief that things are about to get better for you is what's going to make you cut off conversations and engagements that hurt you and further feed your despair. Okay? So really, really work on and lean into prayer this week. I have adopted the tradition of praying 5 times a day. And because I'm used to it now, that does not feel like a lot. Some of you guys, y'all need the minimum of 5 prayers a day. Some of you guys may need more than that. So pray as much as you need to, because this defeatist energy is not going to serve you. Put yourself around other people, again, 6 of Wands, who love you, who want to see you win. This is not a week for isolation, especially if you know that you're struggling with faith, right? This is not a week for isolation. Talk to the people who love, respect you, and want to see you win. I know we live in a hyper-individualist society. I know that when we are going through difficulty, or when we have shame about our actions, or when we can't see clearly, the impulse is to run and hide or to avoid. But that is not what you need to be doing this week. You need to be leaning on other people. Sir Chuchi, what are you asking? You said, what about dusting them with cornstarch? Remind me what you're referencing. I've already forgotten. Mambo smokes a lot of weed. My memory is like, shh. So remind me what you're referencing with the cornstarch. But yeah, if you feel like you're struggling with this, connect with people. Talk to the people that love you. Reach out to folks. Let yourself be loved. Um, oh, okay. I didn't think about that. I'm gonna try that. I'm actually gonna try that when I get off the live. I'm gonna see how that works out for me. But yeah, and this is coming up because again, a lot of your all's responses will be to hide. Four of Pentacles is a very insular energy, right? It's staying in the house and it's holding your resources to yourself and holding your precious, valuable things to yourself and trying to avoid because you're in such an energy of lack, right? That's not helpful. That's not what you need this week. When it comes to literal physical health, Four of Pentacles is also like some of you guys are not getting enough nutrients, which is interesting because you're overeating too, right? And so even though some of you are not eating enough, and then others of you are overeating, but you're not getting enough nutrients, right? So Four of Pentacles, stop eating cheap. Stop eating cheap. Leave the top ramen alone. Leave the Taco Bell alone. Leave the fast food alone. Stop being cheap with yourself because that impacts your health. Buy healthy vegetables and fruits. Remember to actually eat the healthy vegetables and fruits. I just let some bananas go rot just now, so I'm probably talking to myself. I don't know why. I never remember to eat my bananas in time. But this is not a time to be miserly with your care. This is not a time to be weird and restrictive with your care because that's only fueling this confusion and this disconnection from your faith. Now, here's the thing. A lot of y'all feel this way. The reason why you feel this way, it's not like it's unjustifiable. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So some of you guys, this can be literal poverty mentality that you're coming out of, like you have experienced some sort of financial deficit and you're just coming out of it. You're just making your way out of it. Or in the community sense, because again, Five of Pentacles is being surrounded by people with poverty mentality. You may be just now coming out of a space where you're like, you know what, I don't really need to engage with this bullshit energy anymore. Okay. So if that's where you are, if you're coming out of the poverty mentality, really lean into your faith more so that you don't accidentally backslide into it. Okay. 10 of Pentacles. All of this is coming up because these are healthy habits that, yes, benefit you as the adults that are watching this, but this turns into wisdom that you can then gift to other generations. Whether it is the next generation within your family, whether if you are a paternal or a maternal figure, mentor out in the community, this is wisdom about how to take care of yourself. I don't know why we think this way, but we live in a society where we feel like the heart, mind, and body are all disconnected. And it's not. It's not. We know that when people are dealing with sadness and disconnection, first thing they do is forget to eat, or they eat too much. The first thing they forget to do is to hydrate, right? They forget to get up and move their body, get out and get sun. So if our emotional and mental capacity was not directly related to the body, those things wouldn't be happening, okay? And that is why this is important for you. Because the same way that we are invested in generational wealth when it relates to money and finances, we as a community need to have better generational wealth as it relates to social habits. We have a lot of I love us. As Monique says, I love us for real. But when it comes to habits of how we treat each other, how we emotionally beat up on each other, how we are so individualist that we don't care to have good community ties, when it comes to those things, those are really shitty habits. And the way that we give generational wealth in terms of habits and energy, the way that we actually break those generational curses that niggas is always talking about, is making sure that we are developing generational wealth and passing that on to other people. So yes, this is about you doing this because you need it. But how you going to be out in the world telling people how to be a better person if you're not taking better care of yourself? Okay? We end with the Hierophant. This is twofold. Some of you guys are struggling because you have a mentor or a community elder, and yo black, I need to, everybody who watches ain't black. Yo behind is not reaching out to them. You're not getting guidance because you're so afraid of instruction that you would rather avoid your teachers. Hierophant, the teacher, Taurus energy. People love to benefit from a Taurus, but they don't want to hear the honesty of a Taurus, right? Show up, love us, give us things, make a, cook amazing food. Like, I was about to say something vulgar, but the things that people say about Taurus and sex are true, right? Show up and make us feel good. But when it's time to give instruction, because there's a truth and sometimes a brutality to the truth of the Hierophant, we want to avoid it. So we love the benefit of saying that we have a spiritual healer or a spiritual mentor or a community healer or a community mentor. But we don't want the accountability of it. But here's the thing about Hierophant energy. It means nothing if you're not disciplined enough to listen to it. It means nothing if you're not disciplined enough to put those things into action, right? Whereas the High Priestess is about the intuitive aspects of spirituality. Hierophant is about the processes, the doing, the masculine aspects of spirituality, right? So, how are you taking care of yourself? Are you praying often enough? Do you have somebody that you trust to get spiritual guidance from, who can give you outside perspective? Do you have somebody like that? If you have that person, are you actually accessing them? Those are all things that we should be asking ourselves when the Hierophant comes up. So to summarize this is a week where it's really important that you allow yourself to give yourself the nurturing that you need. The only reason why you believe that you don't deserve nurturing is because you are in the process, or you have recently come out of an environment where you have been either surrounded by people or surrounded by conditions that have made you believe, for some false ass reason, that you don't deserve nurturing. That's not true. That is not true. And the more you lean into your faith, and the more you lean into the people that love you, the more you will understand that that is not true. And the easier it'll be for you to remember to do your meditations, to remember to pray, to remember to hydrate, to remember to thank I was about to say the law again. Everybody don't deal with the law. To remember to thank the ancestors and to thank God for the fact that you even have the opportunity to do these things, right? So that is the health message for this week. All righty. Now I'm ready to start taking questions from the audience. I've gone that didn't feel like an hour to me. I didn't know I was talking for an hour. That really did not feel like an hour. I can do questions for maybe 20 minutes. So we'll see how many questions I can get through. My neighbor across the way has a new dog, and that new dog is very loud. So I apologize if I get distracted. But yeah, as you guys are typing out your questions, I'll go ahead and give updates. Patreon is up and running. It's going strong. The readings for February 1st through 15th will be up before Tuesday morning. So if you want to get those readings along with the monthly overview, because I do monthly overviews on the Patreon, join the Patreon so that you can have access to that information. The free class for Patreon, the Patreon exclusive class this month, and I need to set the date for it. I do know it's going to be the last week of February. I just don't know the exact date. But the Patreon exclusive class for this month is about how to protect your social media, how to enchant and protect your social media. So if that's something that you're interested in, again, it is a Patreon exclusive. No, it will not be available later on my website. No, I will not be selling it as an individual class. If you want to be in that class, you have to enroll in my Patreon. Everybody who joins at the inner circle or higher level has access to the monthly classes, okay? And then there's also, again, the other readings, the zodiac readings, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to be doing a live for the full moon this month, so we can have a crafting session together. There's all kinds of things, okay? This is the last week to book your forecast reading, okay? The yearly forecast reading will only be available until the 10th. So if you've been telling yourself for the last 3 months, I'll get it next week, I'll get it next week, I'll get it next week is here, baby. So go ahead and book your forecast reading. I am running a Valentine's Day sale until February 15th. So if you want to get an additional 20% off, you can use the code HEARTS. It's a code that works on any order over $60 on my website, soleilconjureshop.com. Other than that, we do have Sacred Awakening, which is not Sacred Awakening, Sacred Alignment, which is my retreat, our Divine Feminine Retreat, run by the Vision of Dawn Tour that happens April 11th through the 13th. If you would love to come to the retreat, get some in-person healing services from me, as well as just have fun, turn up, learn a little bit more about spirituality, the divine feminine, and how to nurture your divine feminine, consider joining us. The link is below. So go ahead, join, get your questions answered. Even though the retreat is April 11th through the 13th, the deadline for registration is March 11th. So even if you are just curious and have questions, join and ask your questions now, because I promise you, those 5 weeks will go by very, 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 very quickly, okay? All right, let's get some questions from the audience. Oh, and Tiffany had questions about the tarot classes. I have a lot of tarot classes on my website. There's Tarot 101. There's a look at all the different suits. There's a deep analysis of the royal court. I have a class on how to read the pentacles to understand health. I have a lot of tarot classes. You just got to go on my website, look in the catalog, and see what's available. The Queens and Pages as Mother and Child class will be up on my website before the week is over. But again, Tiffany, I'm going to reach out to you after I reach out to Monique tonight, okay? Zena wants to know if she should I raise my online business or should I keep it the same? Are you asking if you should raise your prices, Zena? Let me know. So Zena, I'm gonna ask that you refine your question a little bit, because the way it's written is, should I raise my raise for my online business? And I'm a little confused. So if you can reword your question and put it back into the comments, I'll answer you next. I'm gonna start with JL. JL wants to know, what does Spirit have to tell me about how Stacy really feels about me? What are the reasons for her distance? Is our friendship over? I got you. No worries. I got you after JL, Zena. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits to walk with me. What does JL need to know about Stacy at this time? What wisdom does she need at this time? Is their friendship okay? What has led to this distance? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I accidentally pulled 6 cards, and so I'm just going to read them. I think you may be collateral damage in a lot of uncertainty and insecurity and low-key depression in this person's life. We've had this conversation before. You're doing better than you give yourself credit for. I think because, especially if you are a type A femme, which is how I experience you. If I'm misgendering you or if I'm not correct, JL, please let me know. But I, like sees like, and as a type A femme, like, I can lack awareness of how many blessings I have. I can lack awareness of how far I've come, right? But just because I lack awareness, it doesn't mean that other people around me lack awareness. And especially if they are going through a period of difficulty, it can make it hard for them to show up for me or to connect with me. Or they can see me just engaging in normal behavior as me trying to stun on them, right? So we have you here as both the 9 of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords, which is how she's experiencing you, right? Things are going good for you. Life is stable for you. You have managed to be really decisive about certain things. You may have also said some stuff to her that made her feel like you were trying to not boss her around spiritually, but it gave her a feeling of like, well, or this person a feeling of like, well, who the fuck do they think they are, right? That was, again, off-putting to them because they are dealing with a lot of insecurity right now. And that's not your fault. That's just where they are, right? It's really important that you not gaslight yourself into believing that you've done something wrong or that you're a bad person. Even if they try to make you feel like you are, you're not doing anything wrong. They just have some shit that they got to figure out, right? I want to say I'm sorry that you're going through this, but I think it's just one of those things where they're going through a dark time and it's hard to be around you, not because you're actually doing anything to them, but like they don't. Sometimes that phrase, misery loves company, exists for a reason, baby. And sometimes it's hard to be around people when things are starting to pick up for them when things aren't picking up for you. I hope that that makes sense. Let me know if that resonated or not. Let's see. Zena wanted to know if she should raise her prices for her online business. Let's see. Hi, or Diva Mommy. Yes, make sure you get the opportunity to watch the reading from the beginning, okay? Yes, Sisters, Angels, and Master Spirits will walk with me. Should Zena raise the prices for her online business at this time? If so, what will that open up for her? If not, why not? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I got you, Tori. Tori, you may be the final question because I feel like there were two more before you. So I'm probably going to wrap up with you. But I see you. I got you. Yes, yes, I'm hearing. So as soon as I looked at the cards, I started hearing yesterday's price is not today's price. So yes, baby, you need to, and people don't like it when entrepreneurs raise their prices, but we got to raise our prices to compete with the cost of living. We just do. Um, and it's not like you're about to raise your prices unreasonably, but the Nine of Pentacles, you are a business owner, right? You have to do this. This is something you need to do so that you can make sure that your cups are full, that your needs are met, that you are taken care of. And here's the thing, the clients that can pay it will pay it. So that's another thing. Sometimes we get afraid to raise our prices thinking that it's going to cause us to lose customers, but no, like the people that want business with you will find a way to pay it. So go ahead and do it. You will be really, really grateful that you did. And when you do it, don't waffle back and forth. Stand on your square. Sorry, not sorry. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Go ahead and raise your prices, baby. JL says, thank you. Oh, I always forget that I can show these. JL says, thank you, Mambo. It resonated a lot and it completely rang true. I'm always blown away by the way you see me when I don't see myself that way. I love you. And we've had conversations, and so I understand why you have a hard time seeing it. But like, baby, you've come so far, and you're so beautiful, and you're so blessed. You really, really, truly are. And this is why y'all noticed last year I started teaching classes about jealousy and protection, right? I used to get nervous or worked up when somebody would insinuate that a person was jealous of me because I would feel like I was taking up too much space or I did something wrong. But it's not about the arrogance. You need to recognize that people are people and human beings are naturally covetous. And when you can acknowledge that, it gives you space to protect yourself better. Is sad. We would love for our friends to celebrate us when things are going good for us, but people who can't celebrate you, it's because of what's going on inside of them, not about you. not about you. You are very, very welcome, Zena, and I hope that I was able to help you with your question. Let's see. So, KFS, is there anything I can do about a micromanaging paranoid boss before I quit? Ancestors, angels, and master spirits walk with me. What can KFS do about micromanaging paranoid boss? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Itch coming up in my throat. That typically happens when someone doesn't want me to speak, but I'm going to drink some water and move forward. How does KFS manage the situation with their micromanaging boss? Love you too, JL. Absolutely, Zena, and that's even more of a reason why you got to raise your prices. I'm gonna tell myself, I will do like $35 reading specials and stuff in my Facebook group just to pay it forward to people. But I hate cheap readings, not because I'm money hungry, but because there's an energy with people who only want a sale, only want a discount that you have to deal with, right? And so I don't judge you for wanting a higher clientele, because people who are willing to pay show up with respect, and they show up with respect because they have respect for their money. Not Monique getting given a bunch of scale emojis. That's because Monique has been an amazing client. Monique, if all my clients were as respectful and like transparent and forthright as you, my job would be so much easier. But yeah, baby, raise your prices. Right? Go ahead and raise your prices. You got to make a way for yourself, mama. You don't like this job. You don't like this job. Let me rephrase that. You like this job, but you hate the way that you are being treated in this job. And unfortunately, your boss is a queen, not a queen, a king of swords type person. Now, again, the kings are about how people lead, how they either show up as their best in leadership or how they misuse their power and abuse leadership. And you unfortunately have a king of swords boss. You ain't shit that you can tell them because they think they know everything. And if you try to defend yourself, they're going to be malicious and vindictive and weird towards you. And King of Swords and debilitation does deal with a lot of paranoia, right? So, baby, you gotta start creating a new job for yourself. You are far too abundant, far too qualified, far too worthy to be working somewhere, giving 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week to an environment where you are getting stressed because somebody's paranoid projections are being bounced off the wall. Get the fuck out that job. Create a new job for yourself. And I'm using the word create, and you may be thinking, well, I don't want to start a business. I know that this is the Etsy queen. I get that. But create in that you should just start applying for stuff that you know better fits you. Go ahead and start calling it in now. Another thing about the King of, and even though this was the third card, I'm gonna go into it. King of Swords and debilitation plays mind games. They don't necessarily want somebody to understand their worthiness. So part of them keeping you on your toes and making you feel paranoid like you're going to be fired all the time, that is their control. Get the fuck away from them, okay? If you allow yourself to do that, you will be blessed. You will be deeply blessed. The next job you get is going to meet all your needs. Your cups will be full. And then when you have the addition of peace in the workplace, you're going to be even more happy. So start calling it in. Start praying for a new job now. Start applying for things so that you can get what you want, which is to be away from this weirdo psychopath. Speaking of three of swords in reverse, a lesson that I'm unfortunately learning over and over and over again is that you have to be careful, and I'm going through this with a client that I'm helping manifest another job. you have to be cautious of people whose whole identity is defined by their work. This is probably a boss that does not have a good work-life balance. They probably don't go home to somebody. If they do go home to somebody, they don't like that somebody, or that somebody does not like them. And people who are not happy at home will bring their unhappiness into work environments. They just will. People who feel insecure in their life will bring their insecurity into work environments and use that insecurity to dominate, to manipulate, and to make other people feel uncomfortable. So that's why Spirit is saying, get another job, baby. Go ahead and get away from that job, because the last thing you want to do is be put in a situation where they're constantly nicking at you. And then the next thing you know, you lash out as reactive abuse. And then everybody's looking at you and blaming you, because nobody sees all the nicking that was done at you. They just see your reaction. Don't even give them the satisfaction. Just get the fuck out of that job, okay? Hey, them sales got me where I needed to be. Yes, yes. Okay. I feel like there was one more person before Tori, and I do gotta speed up because I'm gonna miss my movie if I don't go through these a little faster. Yapa, I started talking to this guy I met at work. Should I continue to talk to him or leave him alone? Let's look into that, Yapa, and then we'll wrap up with Tori, and then we'll go ahead and duck out for the night. Again, I want to gently remind you all that, oh, and also Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale for $75. Love and Romance readings are on sale for $75. Love and Romance readings are on sale for $75 until February 15th. Ancestral Life Path readings are on sale for $75 for the entire month of February. Happy Black History Month. Forgot to say that earlier, but I just want to remind you all. But let's see. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Yapa need at this time about the person that they are seeing? Is this something that they should continue to explore? If so, what will it bring them? If there are any deficits or warnings that they need brought to their attention at this time, please reveal and illuminate them. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Clarify the Nine of Wands. What do we need to know about the Nine of Wands? So he is a good person, and you could have a lot of fun with him, but I do get workaholic energy. I get the energy of somebody that's burning the wick at both ends. He is at a point in his life where he is still learning that when it comes into relationship, you get back what you put into it. So this is somebody who can like disappear for long periods of time or not respond to you very quickly. And that can leave you feeling confused, just confused, right? But if that doesn't bother you, if you are a person that's comfortable with a lot of space, it may not be an issue, because again, when you guys are together, when you're around each other, there's a moving forward that happens that allow you guys to have a lot of pleasure in interaction with one another. But again, Emperor, he's very much focused on what he's building. And that can make him show up as selfish at times, right? Emperor is ruled by Aries. Aries can be so wrapped up in what they want and what they think is right that they forget about other people or how it lands. And that's why this issue of him, being hyper busy is coming up, right? Because again, this is somebody who can very easily be on edge or agitated, but also their lack of engagement make you feel on edge. Justice card, they're still learning that they have to put energy, consistent energy into a woman in order for that woman to feel secure. And this causes you to feel confused a lot about the relationship. So it's not going to necessarily be the easiest thing, but is this something where if y'all move forward together, there's possibility for mutual growth? Absolutely. Absolutely. But there are some deficits there with him in terms of understanding the necessity of consistent engagement, and that, being wrapped up in work, everybody's not going to always let that be the excuse for why you're not reciprocating. Let me know if that made sense for you. All right, we are going to wrap up with Tori. Let's see. Is my new romantic interest trustworthy? Let's see. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me, and all the ancestors. What wisdom does Tori need at this time about their new love interest? What do they need to know? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Seven of Swords. Okay. There's a part of him that sees you as out of his league, so he may do weird shit to try to neg you. I don't see you putting up with that. I'm being really honest. In the beginning, there's going to be a lot of comfort, 4 of Cups, in this relationship. Like, you guys can very much get lost in one another kind of energy. So that's good. That feels nice. But very quickly, the more you get closer to him, the more he's going to say and do shit that feels like, are you really fucking with me or no, right? And a lot of that comes from the fact that there is a selfishness there. There is a tendency to tunnel vision. There is a tendency to feel like his needs or this person's needs are more important. They have a lot to learn about how to show up in a way where they can manage their insecurities instead of projecting them onto another person. But Queen of Wands, yeah, they're genuinely attracted to you. They like your emotional confidence. They see you as literally as a baddie. And again, a lot of this insecurity comes from the fact that in their mind, you are out of their league. Can there be pleasure in this relationship? Absolutely. But the way that this person shows up in their insecurity may feel repellent to you. I'm going to pull one more card under this 7 of Wands, or 7 of Swords. Please further clarify the 7 of Swords. They may, so under the 7 of Swords, we have the Hierophant. So this is somebody who they will respect your spirituality, but also may feel threatened by it. Certain intuitive hunches you get, they will feel threatened by you sharing that. Everybody's different. Some people are willing to hide their spiritual practice for a relationship. Others are like, I'm not gonna hide shit. You get used to it now. So again, with all this being under that 7 of Swords, I think, and now the 4 of Cups is making more sense. introduce them to those aspects of who you are slowly. Give them room, for lack of better words, to hang themselves. Because the thing about a Knight of Swords is that they can tunnel vision so much that they treat people like collateral damage. What does that mean in this instance? They don't know that they're saying and doing reckless stuff. So be slow to introduce like the intimate details around your spirituality to them, because if you're not, and then you find out later that they're not on board with it, they could have already potentially said some fucked up shit that pisses you off. So that's what I'm seeing. I hope that that was helpful, Tori. Let me know if that resonated with you, if that made sense. Thank you. I love my nails too. I absolutely love them. My nail artist is named Will. He is at Nail Muse in Atlanta. If you're ever in Atlanta and you want a really beautiful, intricate nail set, go book with Will. If you, for whatever reason, can't get Will, get Elena. Those are the two that spoil me. And literally any picture I bring into them, they find a way to put it on my nails. I love them down. Love y'all down. Love y'all immensely. We will be back this Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST, for a happy hour reading. Until then, I want you all to take care. If you want to book with me, you want to talk to me, you want to reach out to me, head to soleilconjureshop.com. Use the code HEARTS to get 20% off of any order over $60. If you are interested in joining us for the Sacred Alignment Divine Feminine Retreat, click the link below to the intake group so that you can get more information. Final week of forecast readings. Get your forecast readings before they're gone. If you don't get them now, there won't be an opportunity to get one until going into 2026. So go ahead and take care of that. I love you all. I'll see y'all in a couple days. Take care. Bye.